And we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm here with my co host, Adrienne Marks. She is the author of Me Time, and there is more to it. It's not only me time, it's you time, and it's us time. Hello, Adrienne. Thank you
Hello,
so
Marie.
much for joining us. You'll do most of the talking tonight as my voice will go any minute. But as I
Okay.
said, it's my medicine. Me time is going to cure whatever is going wrong with my voice. Over to you, Adrienne.
Okay. Hi, Marina. Before we actually start, what I'll say is, if you've got a bad throat, the best thing is Manuka honey.
Yes.
Manu- It is amazing stuff. I've been taking it for quite a while now, and I have it every single day. I had a year or so ago, a friend of mine recommended it to me. I was so ill. I was supposed to be flying out 2 days afterwards, and I thought I couldn't even get out the house. And I got some Manuka honey, and it totally cured me, and I've been taking it ever since. So please take some Manuka honey,
I will.
and that will really help your throat. So it's
Thank you so
funny that
much, Adrienne. Thank you. Manuka
you're
honey, it
welcome. You're
is.
welcome. It's funny that we should start off by talking about that, because I was really thinking today about not just me time, but how we treat ourselves and how we look after ourselves, not just the outer bit but the inner bit. Yeah, how we look after our body. And I'm very into all sorts of ways of looking at things like Manuka honey, to be able to, rather than taking, pills and painkillers and all the rest of it, which I don't believe in taking chemicals and stuff, but to actually listen to your body. And I was talking to somebody the other day, um, about, they were feeling very, very weak, and we were talking about, and I was saying, well, how much are you having protein in your diet? And she said yes. And I said, what you really need is a piece of steak, literally a good piece, an organic piece of meat. I said, and your body, if your body really needs it, you'll eat it so fast, you'll just go, oh my God. And it will just, and I spoke to her yesterday again, and she said, do you know what? She said, I really needed that. I really needed it, because it just gave me so much energy, because she's been very ill. And so she just needs to be looking at what she's eating, because sometimes we think that, oh, if we're eating vegetables and if we're eating fruit and we're being very quotes good, then we don't need to be doing things like that. And there's all this sort of, oh, meat is bad for you and this is bad for you and that's bad for you, but your body knows what it needs. And things like, a good piece of steak, or some good vegetables, coconut oil. I've been reading up about coconut oil, and I've been using it for a long time now. And the things that you can do with coconut oil is just absolutely amazing. You can use it on your face as a moisturizer, as a cleanser to take off your makeup. You can use it as a mouthwash. You can just swill it around, and apparently it's supposed to be really, really good for your gums. Um,
Oh my God, really?
yeah,
Wow.
absolutely, absolutely,
This is like a
absolutely.
new alphabet of, what your body wants,
Yeah,
and
exactly,
exploring
exactly.
new avenues. It's always like, oh, really? Somebody have to tell you. I never heard of this. I love coconut.
Yeah,
Myself, I invent, all sorts of cookies and stuff. I just need to have a little bit of coconut. But I never thought of the rest of the coconut magic.
yeah,
Wow, this is
absolutely.
amazing.
Good as a skin moisturizer, as a suntan lotion. Um, I found something just literally before we were talking, and it was coconut. It's to use as a, like a coffee creamer in your coffee. Instead of having a creamer which will cool it down, you do, 1 part of coconut oil, 1 part of Manuka honey, um, some cinnamon powder, vanilla essence, and some cocoa powder. And you mix it all up, and it's absolutely delicious. And you just put it in your coffee. You just
I'm
put it in
writing down. I'm writing down.
and it's just absolutely delicious. And it doesn't cool the coffee down either. It's just a better way because, and it doesn't make it greasy, obviously, because coconut oil is just, it is just the most incredible thing. It really is. It's fantastic. But it's just, you know, especially sort of this time of year when it's cold and damp, and our bodies take such a beating, our skin takes such a beating from, you know, the climate, especially if you're, you know, like me, you live in the, you know, the northern hemisphere, and it's windy and raining and cold, and there's air conditioning or hot heating, and your skin is just sort of buffeted around. So using coconut oil is just the most amazing thing. And you know, just getting a, you know, a regular jar of it, which I don't know what it's like in America, but you know, here it costs maybe £6-7 for a good organic one. But you can use that in so many different things, so
Wow,
many
so
different
so it's
things.
like giving your body some coconut magic TLC and sit down and enjoy a good coffee, have
Absolutely, yeah.
breakfast, make it your best part of the meal. Because I
Mhm.
use it in salad, for instance. I just buy the coconut, I smash it, and I use the juice, and I use the skin and everything. I don't like um, to talk about this because it sounds crazy, but coconut is like my body is asking me for it. So I end up putting in salad as well, and it's delicious. Sometimes I just have it as it
Absolutely,
is.
absolutely. I was a couple of years ago, I was with a friend and we were in Thailand, and we got literally addicted to our coconut drinks every
It's so
day.
Moorish. It's absolutely so Moorish.
So delicious. And we'd have one in the morning, and then it would come to the evening, and we'd be sitting in this lovely a restaurant. I mean, you know, it wasn't a building. It was like these tables were on the beach, basically. And we'd sit there, and she'd say to me, "What are you going to have to drink?" And we'd be like we were a couple of addicts. And I'd say, "Oh, I want to. Oh, shall we have another coconut drink?" And she'd say, "Well, we've already had one today." So we'd say, "Oh, let's have another one." You know, and we got so addicted, and it was, oh my god, it was so delicious. It was amazing. It was fresh coconut. It was just, oh, it was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
So really and truly, if we are to answer the question, what makes your heart sing, coconut could be one of the answers.
Yes, definitely, definitely. And Manuka honey. I have a spoonful of Manuka honey every single morning.
How
Because,
wonderful.
yeah, which is it's just delicious. And yes, and Manuka honey is one of my things that make my heart sing. But good, you know, good food, and understanding what your body actually needs. It's really interesting. You know, when you crave something, and so, you know, I find that years ago I had serious sort of weight issues, and had a long time of sort of going on diets, and not understanding. And now I do understand that when you deprive your body of something, it starts wanting it. And I'm not talking about junk food. I'm talking about good, you know, proper food. What my Brazilian friend calls proper food. So we're talking about sort of, you know, a juicy steak, or really, really fresh vegetables, or really good fruit, or coconut water, or whatever it is. When your body craves it, it's there's something in that food that your body needs to keep going, because it's got to have, your body's got to have a balance. You've got to have carbohydrates, and you've got to have vitamins and minerals, and you've got to have all of it. And that is being really, really good to yourself, because that way you can really sort of perform at your best level, no matter how old you are. If you're living and you're denying your body different foods, then you're going to, your energy levels will be depleted. If you're not sleeping enough, sleep is the most restorative elixir. It's amazing. You know, if you're tired, sleep. I actually say in my book about sleep, and I say, you know, if you're pushing yourself and pushing yourself, you know, if you've got a like an urgent report to write and you're writing and writing and you're just really, really tired, the report won't be good. You just won't be at your best. Your brain won't be alert, and you know when you feel right. And it's funny because what happened was when I was actually writing this particular chapter, um, I was writing and writing, and then I suddenly thought, I really feel tired, so I have to listen to what my body's saying, and I have to, you know, take my own advice. And I sat down on the sofa, and I thought, I'm not going to read, I'm not going to do anything. And I just had like a power nap for like 10 minutes, and then I woke up and I felt great, and I carried on with what I was doing. But if I'd have pushed myself and kept writing and writing, it wouldn't have been good. You know, the end result wouldn't have been as powerful as it actually was, because um, I'm sure lots of other people feel like I do. When you push yourself too much, your body starts, you know in your head, I'm not working at my full potential. I'm not. My ideas are going, and I don't feel right, and you just know, and so you just have to listen to yourself, and you have to learn to listen to yourself. It's like sometimes you might think, oh well, I have to go out. I have to go out this evening. I have to go out, or I have to go out because it's Saturday or it's Sunday, and I have to be out of the house. And your body's going, I need to rest. You need to just chill out and rest. And sometimes people push themselves, and they just make themselves ill. They really do.
So what you are saying, Adrian, is it's absolutely accurate, and we like it or not. You can't enjoy life if you are not feeding your body, if you are not nourishing your body. And
Yeah,
it's like you said, is almost this battle we carry all the time on a day-to-day basis, for fitness, for feeling energetic, for feeling smart, for being the best you can be. It's all about realizing that your body, what your body needs, and when the body needs what needs, and you have to make your own decisions, and to yourself, and see what works and when works. And sometimes, like you said, sometimes you might need a steak, a New York City steak or a London steak, whatever it is. But if that is what your body needs, you should not refuse yourself that request, because that request is going to help you on the long run.
mm, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
so really, this is all about becoming aware of what your body needs and
Mm.
when.
Yeah, it is very much, and it takes practice, because you don't, you start off and you don't know what really is good for you. And so what you have to do is you have to research, and we're so lucky that we can go on to Google, and we can go online, and we can just find out anything about anything. It's amazing. For instance, nuts are really good for you. Various nuts, not salted, but roasted nuts are really, really good for you. There's all sorts of things that people think, oh, I can't eat that because it's fattening, or I have to have low fat this or that. Low fat is probably the worst thing imaginable, because low fat processed foods are really bad for you anyway. Um, and there are so many additives. But low fat processed foods are even worse, because instead of being fatty, what they are is they have lots of sugar in them.
Yeah, it's like a travesty.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's bad for you in all ways. And fat, some fat is good for you. We need fat to for our bones, and for our muscles, and so our diet has to be, but as I say, balance. So you have to have proteins, you have to have carbohydrates, but good carbohydrates. You have to have vegetables, vitamins, minerals. And as I say, it's so easy because all you have to do is just go online and look and see exactly, avocados. Avocados are an amazing, that they're actually a fruit, not a vegetable. But I mean, people do eat them as a vegetable, obviously. But they are so good for you. They
It is so strange, Adrian, because I never liked the look of it. So for decades, I never touched it. I thought, oh my God, how can somebody eat that green stuff? But once, I don't know what happened to me. I think a couple of years ago, um, I was in a I felt very poorly, and
Mhm.
I went and to the market, and the only thing I could think of was avocado. So
Yeah,
for my very first time in my entire life, I started eating avocado, and I have it each day. I think because it's good for me. So I don't know why it wasn't before, why my body never even, I know ignorance is not bliss, but what is more expensive than ignorance? But it was something that kept me on the other side of avocado. And now I can't imagine life without olives or avocado. I could live
I
on them.
know. I know. Avocado is it's very, and you said the first time you had it, you weren't well, and that's really interesting because it's a very mild thing to eat. It's not like sort of tomatoes, which are a bit sort of strong, or
Yes.
something else, fruit that might be, like oranges, for instance, might be too acidy for you if you're not well. But avocado is very gentle, and it's so good for you, as I say. And if you can sort of mash it up and add things like tahini with it and make a
Yes.
super sort of pate and spread it on crunchy bread and all sorts of things.
Oh,
But
wonderful. I
they're
can't wait.
absolutely
I can't
delicious.
wait till tomorrow to have it for breakfast. Actually, about changing your mind, sometimes I'm thinking, you know what? Um, I always thought it's a privilege to be a woman.
Hmm.
Not only because everybody tries to protect you and look at you as if you need help, which is always good. But I think a woman's mind is very clean, because you change your mind more often. so so if you don't like something today, you could change your mind. You are allowed. You are a woman, you can change your mind about everything next day.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
if you don't
Yeah.
like avocado today, it's okay to try again tomorrow. You might like it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yes, I'd never thought of that before, but absolutely, we can change our minds. We are allowed to. But also, I think women are we're more adventurous when it comes to food. Men, on the whole, and this is probably a sweeping generalization, and if there are any men listening, they're probably going to hate me for what I'm about to say. But I think men tend to be a bit sort of stuck with what they like to eat. It's got to be sort of, it's got to be the fries. It's got to be sort of like, the man food. I mean, I have a very good friend of mine who, I won't say where he lives because if I say where he lives and he ever listens to this, he'll go, "Oh, she was talking about me," and he'll know he knows. Um, but he now has diabetes, and he's not that young anymore. He was very he worked out and he was very sort of time has taken its toll, unfortunately, and he's not been well, but he does have diabetes. But it's amazing some of the things that he'll eat and that he knows aren't good for him, and he'll eat them, and you watch them and you think you're not supposed to be eating that. Oh, but I'm only just having one, and it's like, no, you're not supposed to be eating it if you want to be healthy. But people do what they do, don't they?
It's true. Listening to you, I don't know why this thought came to my mind, and there's nothing to do with what we're talking, but I'll say it anyway. I read somewhere that a successful man is is one who makes more money than his wife can spend, and the successful woman is one who can find such a man. So I'm not quite sure what is the cause of the diabetes for your friend, but must be something to do with what Dalai Lama said once, that it's very interesting how men are. Um, uh, Human beings are interesting creatures because they spend all their life making money, and then they spend all their money losing their health, of course, and then they spend all the money trying to recover their
Thank
health,
you.
which will never
Yeah.
come back.
Yes.
So yes, change your mind, do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Avocado, coconut, whatever your makes your heart sing. But be well and enjoy life. Over to
Yeah.
you, Adrian.
Absolutely. I think that's the main thing. I'm actually going to use that thing about the successful man. I love that. That is so good. That is really clever. I love that. But yes, it is about it's being adventurous and being open. It's like a lot of things, isn't it? You know, when you love yourself, when you love your body, when you're looking after yourself, it's not difficult to think, well, I'll try coconut oil, or I'll try Manuka honey, or I'll try something else. I'll try avocados, or I'll try something different, to experiment and to be open, to be curious, like a child. You know, children have this ability to everything is wonderful for them. Everything, every new day is a new adventure. There are, you know, they're like the goldfish in the bowl. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. You know, um, and unfortunately, when we grow up, we stop having that sense of adventure, that sense of wonderment about and curiosity. Well, let's try this. You know, what's the worst thing that can happen? I've often been in restaurants or been somewhere, and you know, the local delicacy, whatever it might be, and I'll go, well, I'll try it once. If I don't like it, I won't have it again. It's really that simple.
Sometimes, Adrian, when I'm going to countries like Vietnam, or that part of the world where everything goes, um, they, my friend will say, "Oh, don't you ask what it's made of?" No, I don't want to know. But I remember. Sometimes it's once in a while, puts a smile on your face, just remembering the fact that you ate something you had no idea what it was, but it was
But it was
so
delicious.
delicious.
Absolutely, absolutely. And following on from that, many years ago, I was out with a lot of friends, and we were in a Chinese restaurant in Chinatown in London. And I don't know how many of us were around this table, and they were just bringing the food and bringing the food, and it was a real banquet. It was awesome. And then somebody, one of the girls said, "What is this?" And somebody else said, it was squid. And she just went, she pushed her plate away. She went, "Oh, I don't like squid." And that was the weirdest thing, because up till she knew what it was, she said she liked it.
Hmm.
So basically, what you're saying is there's no point telling me if I'm enjoying it, I'm enjoying it. I don't need to know what
Don't
it's
spoil it
called.
for me, yes.
Don't spoil it by telling me what the name of it is. You know, they're like, "Oh, no, I don't like the sound of that." You
Because I
know,
think it's always like in any relationship with yourself, with your food, with your ideas, with your happiness, with your family, with your friends, with your books, with your me time moments. You have to do your best. But I think what's happening, you treat others a lot better than you treat yourself. So the opposite of that I learned from you is to treat yourself the same way you would treat others, and you'll be fine.
absolutely, absolutely. And didn't we talk last week
Yes, that was
about
so cool.
and about um, loving? You know, once you love yourself, you can love other people, and the same goes once you're loving yourself. Once all this good stuff is going on, you know, people will see. You know, your eyes will sparkle, your hair will look good. you will look, you'll have energy, you'll feel really, really good, and people will be drawn to you. And that's how it works. People will love you and want to be around you. They'll all go, oh, what, it's the old thing. I want some of what she's got. Some of what she I'll have what she's having. Because it makes her feel good, it's going to make me feel good too. But people will want to be with you, and that's the thing. And it all starts, it's the same thing. Loving yourself, feeding yourself all this good food, um, fresh foods that aren't processed, that aren't um, ready-made, convenience foods that aren't going to do your body any good. It doesn't matter if you're 18 or 80. You just need to be looking after yourself all the time. And so eating the best food you can possibly buy and taking care of yourself is all part of the me time, is all part of the loving yourself, all part of the what you need to do to have a strong healthy body and a strong healthy life too.
It's so true. The way since we start having this weekly talks, Adrienne, I you impacted the way I think. And as before, I used to say, today is a blank canvas. I need to decide what colors I'm going to use to make the best I can be of myself today. But now I'm thinking the best thing about today, the what makes me sing about today, my heart sing about today, is the fact that I can create it.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
And you create it from the little stuff, from the little small decisions, the little steps you take, the
Mm,
way you walk to the bathroom, you walk tall. So the way you talk to yourself when you look into the mirror, the way you look to the window and you sat there in the morning for a couple of minutes and look at the sky. And hey, this is a brilliant day. I'm going to, I'm the creator of my own day. I'm going to cook myself breakfast, and the more you plan step by step, as in simple things that we
mm,
forget to be grateful for, the more in tune or the more connected you feel with everything, with the right now, which is the only moment that is important, really. So if right now I'm
absolutely.
thinking, of all the food you are talking about, and we are sharing great memories, and we are talking about women, about men, about what makes us different or what makes us special, and how we can make ourselves, you know, holding the deeds of the day. It's all to do with, everybody is different. But yes, I'm selfish, I'm impatient, and maybe sometimes I'm insecure. Yes,
Mhm.
maybe somebody else is hard to handle. Maybe somebody else is out of control at times. But if you can handle yourself at the most difficult time of the day, for sure there is somebody there who deserves to be um, to connect with you at your best time. So going
Mhm.
through this rainbow of feelings and emotions, and it's all about creating the day, creating the moment.
Exactly,
So you are
exactly.
not just creating
And
a meal. You are not just choosing avocado over steak, or coconut over tomato. It's you are creating. You are creating something so unique, as
mm,
unique as you are.
yeah, exactly. And you're creating your experiences as you go along. And the thing is, we have the choice. We have the choice to have good days and we have the choice to have bad days. And if stuff happens, because let's face it, stuff does come up and stuff does happen. It's how we deal with the situation. It's how we look at it and how we react to it, and how we perceive it, and how we choose to deal with it. So if something awful happens, we say, okay, it's happened. Let's deal with it in a rational, positive way as much as you possibly can. And all that is a choice, because you're, again, you don't have to give yourself stress. You don't have to um, be the victim. You don't have to let things happen to you. You can make the choice that you will be as much in control of that particular situation. And I know sometimes it's very difficult. And sometimes we talk about things and we say, oh, it's easy to do this and it's easy to do that. And sometimes it's not so easy. And sometimes people have pressures and stresses that they can't really deal with properly, but they have to take a deep breath and go, you know what, I'm going to do the best I possibly can in this particular situation, and I'm going to deal with it the best I can for this moment. When I think about it tomorrow, I might have other ideas, but right this moment, I'm going to deal with it the best I can. And being true to yourself, being honest with yourself, and saying, this is how I'm going to deal with something. And that's as much a part of the food you choose, and the people you choose to be with, and the place you choose to live. It's so much a part of who you are and who you can be by taking um, experiences and saying, I'm going to choose the best way out of this. I'm going to choose, so that when you go to bed at night, you can lay there and go, okay, stuff happened today and I didn't like that. And it wasn't fair, or it wasn't fun, or whatever. It threw me off my course. But you know what? I dealt with it. I dealt with it the best I can. Tomorrow I'm going to have a great day.
And I can't remember who said it. I can't remember, but I know I laugh internally, of course, for a very long time. Somebody said, I read it somewhere. I even remember the place on the page where I read it. But it says that living well is the best revenge. So you see, if you want to punish yourself, you
Yeah.
can create that. This goes at every single level of your existence. So if you think you didn't do well enough, or okay, so what is the revenge you can take against yourself if you really want to punish yourself? What about go along and live well?
Did you know what? That is so true, because sometimes, people get into situations and other people are involved, and they get, or that person is like, "Ugh," they're horrible and they're this and they're that, and all you're doing, they're gone and forgotten about it, but all you're doing is making yourself probably stressed, probably not very well. Your insides are not going to be, and you're going to feel really bad. And the only person it's affecting is you.
True.
This is partly what I call the victim mentality.
Yeah.
It's what I call the he done me wrong syndrome. It's their fault. I'm blaming them. It's all their fault. And so what you're doing is you're giving away your power, and that is so destructive. Doesn't make any difference to them. They are well away, they're having a great time, a great life. They don't give a damn. And all you're doing is making yourself ill. Give it up, give it up, and just go, do you know what? It happened. I'm going to get over it. And I'm going to look after me. And then you make the decision and you take back your power. And that, at that moment, you are the most powerful person in the world. And you have the choice. You have the choice to be powerful or to be a victim. And most people want to be powerful. So they have to give up the story. They have to give up their story, and they have to say, it happened. I'm going to put my hand up and I'm going to say, okay, I let them do that, but I'm not going to let them do it to me anymore, because I'm the only one that has control of my mind and my thoughts. And we've said this before, thoughts are very, very powerful, because thoughts become emotions and emotions become actions. And once you come out of the victim mode, you allow yourself to be free and to make the choice that you'll eat well, that you'll live well, that you'll love well.
True. This is so true. And I think sometimes when your body is under turmoil, or you got flu, or whatever it is that is,
Mm.
taking you in a different state, and you have
Yeah,
to fight something like a illness or headache, whatever it is. I
yeah,
think that the best cure for that is to help your body, is to quiet your mind.
yes.
I had an access of coughing earlier, so I'm so sorry. I just mentioning this, but and then I coughed and I coughed, and then um, I had I made myself some tea, and I
Mm.
drank the tea, and I thought of nothing, and I quiet my mind, because I was thinking, oh my God, it's late. I can't even talk to you to tell you I'm going to be late, because I was coughing constantly. And then I thought, you know what? I'll make myself a cup of tea and I'll think of nothing. And went away. I don't know what happened. I just quiet my mind, and my body relaxed, or I don't know. I don't know what happened. You tell me. But I was so anxious that I'm not able to speak or even to communicate anything.
Mm.
I'm thinking, oh my God, no.
And probably the more anxious you got, the worse it got. The worse
Yes,
the
so
cough.
once I quiet,
Yeah.
I remove all this anxiety, and I just drank tea. I just, had that moment of tea,
Mm.
a me
Yeah.
time, like you taught
Yeah.
me. My mind went in a very serene place, and I wasn't thinking of, oh my God, it's already 6 o'clock. I was
Yeah.
thinking of nothing,
Yeah.
and here I am, able to speak.
Oh, it's fine. It's like, sometimes at night when I go to bed and I've got lots of stuff going on in my head, and I lay down and I sleep on my back and I lay there and all this stuff is going on, and I actually say to myself, just be quiet. And then as I say that, and then I quiet my mind, and then I fall off to sleep. And I
Wow.
do that so often because, there's so much going on in my mind, and it's usually good stuff. I mean, it's not bad stuff, but it's just like excitement and plans and this and that. And it's like, and I want to sleep. And I can be sitting for maybe 20 minutes and I'm so tired, so tired. And I think, I have to go to bed. I have to go to bed. I'm so tired. And I get myself in bed and I'm like, I can't sleep. And this is how I do it. I just go shh, and then I just put my hand over my heart and I say shh, and then do you know what? And then I always fall asleep. Isn't that
Oh,
true? It's a good trick to do. It really is,
I'm
and it is
writing this down.
exactly what you say. It's exactly what you say. It's quietening your mind because we just go, just so much stuff goes on. Um, and the only way to do it is, we have control over our mind. Our mind isn't the boss. We're the boss, and you have to say, "Shush, enough now. I need some rest." Seriously. I was talking to somebody today, and he has all sorts of awful pains and things. He's got this terrible thing wrong with his neck and stuff, and he said sometimes. Um, it's very difficult to ignore the pain that he gets. And he said, but you know what I do? I just say out loud, enough, that's enough. I'm not putting up with any more. He said, and you know what? It stops.
Wow.
He said, it actually stops. He said, because sometimes it just gets worse and worse and worse. He said, and I can't even think. It's just so awful, the pain. And I just say out loud, like I'm talking to somebody, enough, stop it. That's enough now.
Hmm. Giving orders. Yes. And being able to accept the orders from yourself, because usually they come from other people. So
Yeah,
educating
exactly,
yourself
exactly.
into
So
listening to yourself.
yeah, and it is. It's all mindset, isn't it? It's taking control. from the victim mode, from the pain, from whatever's going on, just from the stuff that's going on in your mind. Um, it's a great way of taking back control and saying, like me, oh, I need to go to sleep now. I want to go to sleep. Please let me sleep. Stop thinking. We'll worry about it tomorrow. Or just we'll do all this stuff tomorrow. So it's really, we have to say it, and we have to say it out loud. And it's amazing how it happens.
So actually, it's true that health is your greatest gift.
Mm.
There is nothing like health, and health is something like cleanliness in a house. It's not about cleaning the house; it's about maintaining the cleanliness. So it's the same with health. It's not about getting healthier. It's about maintaining your health and listening to your body and being adventurous, as you said, and trying new things and not going too much into questioning, what's that, why, or just enjoy it. These silly
Mm.
things in life, these little moments, they're happy moments, and they create that beautiful day you are craving for. And at the end of the day, instead of saying, oh, I had a horrible day or something, which you are going to carry, you are telling your mind that you failed. Even personally, I don't believe in failure, but you are telling your mind each time you say, oh, what a terrible day, you are saying that actually you are available to another terrible day tomorrow. Or what I'm saying, what a wonderful moment, what a great moment. Doesn't matter. I'm always creating um, those colors I need. And it's the same with the food. I have to make myself available to great coconut, to amazing avocado, and I will stay healthy. I will maintain my health.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah, exactly, exactly. And the Manuka honey, don't forget the Manuka honey.
Yes, absolutely. But because we are talking about health sometimes as if it's another persona, or like a topic that we don't really want to engage in because it's too complicated. But actually, it's not complicated at all. Because if you think about health, like you are the carrier of health, and that brings happiness not only in your life but to people around yourself, because you are not needy. You are healthy, so you are
Mm.
not a challenge for them, so you don't create. That brings peace in other people's life when you maintain your health. And it's all about, like you said, it's about discipline, it's about talking to yourself and controlling your own mind and your thoughts, your words, and choosing the right thoughts. And we have this ability, human beings have um, this unique ability to control their thoughts. If you think of dogs, or cats, or birds, they can't control their thoughts.
No,
And we have this awareness. We are born with enlightenment, and we have the wisdom, and it's like a natural virtue.
no,
We have
exactly.
it all in. We just need to bring it out and
Yeah.
display it in our daily life and use it and make it a way of life. And living well is best revenge. Over to you, Adrian.
It's the choice. It's having, it's taking, it's making the choice to be healthy, to live well, and to love well. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
So, shall we close this amazing moment we have, and we share with our listeners with a saying by Buddha, who said, the mind is everything. What you think, you become.
Exactly, exactly. And Frank Zappa said, "Life is like a parachute. It only works well when it's open."
Beautiful. I love you, Adrian. I can't wait for our next episode next Thursday. In the meantime, please go to Adrian's website, dig in, try it, be adventurous. It's so much going on, and Adrian got so much to give. And I'm not quite sure if you still your offer is open for the strategy session me time.
Yes, definitely,
Wonderful.
definitely.
So please go. to Adrienne's website, which is the Awareness Zone. Am I saying this the right way, Adrienne?
You
Or
are saying it the right way. It is the awareness
yes,
zone.
yes, the awarenesszone.co.uk, and get in touch. Otherwise, if you can't get the spelling right because of my my accent, then go to marinanani.com, get in touch, ask questions, and we are here to become aware of your beautiful self. Thank you so much.
Thank
From me
you.
and Adrienne, it's good evening, good morning, or good afternoon. Till next Thursday, be well.
Be well indeed, and take the Manuka honey.
I will.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.